1. Introduction. My name is Mandy. I am 26 years old. I live in a small city. This city is close to the coast, right by the sea. Every weekday, I work at a small, cozy cafe. I enjoy my work there. I serve coffee and food to many different people. The cafe is often busy, but I like the friendly atmosphere. It is a simple life, but I am happy with it. Besides my job at the cafe, I also volunteer. I go to an audiobook reading center 2 times every week. This center is a special place. Here, volunteers record stories and books. They make these recordings for people who cannot see. I have always loved books. Reading is a big passion of mine. I also like to help people. So, this center was a perfect place for me to spend my time. It felt good to be there. The center was always very quiet. You could often hear soft voices. These voices belonged to people who were reading aloud. They were telling stories into microphones. These recordings would then go to people who needed them. It was a peaceful sound. It made the center a calm and welcoming place. It was in this quiet place that I first met Dean. He was sitting by himself. He was in a corner of the main room. He held a white cane in his hand. This cane helps blind people walk safely. He was listening carefully to someone. This person was reading a poem. Dean's face was very calm, but when I looked at him, I saw something more. There was a deep look in his eyes. It was a mix of sadness and great strength. I felt a strange connection to him right away. It was a feeling I had never felt before. It was like we already knew each other. I did not know it at that moment, but I felt a strong sense that this man, Dean, would change my life. I had a feeling that he would be very important. My life would not be the same after meeting him. This was the beginning of a new path for me. It was the start of a journey I could not yet see. This meeting felt like destiny. It was a moment that would lead to many new things. I knew, deep down, that he would bring a big change. This feeling was clear and strong in my heart. 2. A new friend. The next week, I returned to the audiobook center for my volunteer shift. I hoped to see Dean again, and I did. He was sitting in the same area, ready for his session. He turned his head slightly and smiled when I walked closer. It felt like he knew I was there without needing to hear my name. His presence was calm and comforting. His voice was deep and very warm, like a soft blanket. When he spoke, I often found myself forgetting everything else around us. We worked together with the recording files, making sure everything was ready for the listeners. During this time, we talked a lot. Our conversations were usually about books, but they quickly moved to other topics. It was easy to share my thoughts with him. He told me about his life before the accident that took his sight. He had been a teacher, a job he clearly loved. He spoke about his students and the joy of teaching. Losing his sight was a very big change, of course. Yet, He talked about it without any sadness or anger in his voice. He was not bitter about his past. This quiet strength was something I truly admired in him. Dean was gentle in his manner, but also very firm in his beliefs. He always found beauty in the smallest things, even without his sight. He would describe the feeling of sunlight on his skin or the different sounds of the city. He loved the gentle sound of rain outside the window. He spoke about the rich smell of coffee brewing or the happy rhythm of someone's laughter. He made me see and hear these simple pleasures in a new, deeper way. It was a new perspective for me. I began to look forward to my volunteer days more than ever before. I wanted to see Dean again. I wanted to hear his warm voice and talk with him for hours. I wanted to learn more about his thoughts and his world. Every time we met, I felt a strong connection. I didn't fully understand these feelings at first. But slowly, I realized that my heart felt happy when he was near. I was starting to develop strong feelings for him. I was falling for Dean, and it was a feeling I had never known before. 3. Our secret meetings. One evening, after our volunteer work at the Audiobook Center, I offered to walk Dean home. He accepted, and we left the building. The city lights began to glow softly as the sun went down. As we walked, I gently took his hand to help him cross the street safely. He held my hand carefully, and it felt natural and warm. We talked about our day and the different books we had read. Suddenly, Dean said, "You smile when you talk. I can hear it." My face turned red. I was surprised by his words. How could he know that? He could not see me, but he seemed to understand me very well. We reached his apartment building. Neither of us wanted to say goodbye, so we stood outside his door for a long time, just talking. We talked for hours that night. We shared many personal things about ourselves. We spoke about our dreams for the future and the music we both enjoyed. We even talked about what love truly meant to each of us. I learned more about Dean's family. He told me they were wealthy, but they were distant. He did not see them very often. Then, it was my turn to share about my own family. My parents were very loving, but they were also strict. They had many rules for me to follow. They did not know I was spending time with Dean. I knew they would not approve of him. My parents believed that a blind man could not take care of me. They would worry too much about my future. But I did not care what my parents might think. Dean made me feel very special. He made me feel truly seen in ways no one else had ever done before. When I was with him, I felt understood and important. Because of my parents' possible disapproval, we decided to meet secretly. After that first night, I started to visit Dean at his apartment without telling anyone. Each time I went, it felt a little dangerous, like we had a hidden world together. But this feeling of danger also made me feel very alive. Our secret meetings were exciting. They made our connection feel even stronger and more real. We spent many evenings talking and laughing. It was our special time, hidden from the world. Our relationship grew stronger with each passing day. 4. People talk. The whispers started at the audio book center. It did not take long for people to talk about me and Dean. I heard small sounds when I walked past groups of volunteers. People looked at me with strange eyes. There were whispers in the break room and glances over shoulders. Someone had seen me leaving Dean's apartment one evening. This made the gossip grow bigger and spread faster. Some people said I was using Dean. They thought I was with him because I wanted attention or something else. They did not understand our true connection. They could not see the deep feelings we shared. I felt sad and angry when I heard these things. My heart hurt because their words were not true at all. Dean was kind and strong. He made me feel happy and understood in a way no one else had. I tried not to care what others said, but it was very hard to ignore their looks and whispers. Each small sound felt like a stone hitting me. Soon, the rumors reached my family. My mother heard about me and Dean from a friend. She was very, very angry. Her face was red and her voice was loud. She told me I was making our family look bad in the community. She said people would think I was desperate for love or that I was not thinking clearly. She did not want me to see Dean anymore. My mother truly believed a blind man could not take care of me, or that our life together would be too difficult. She thought I was making a big mistake, one that would ruin my future. Then my father spoke. He was usually quiet, a man of few words, but now his voice was firm and clear. He told me I must stop volunteering at the center immediately. He said I could not see Dean again, ever. My parents forbade me from being with him. This made me feel completely trapped. I loved my family and I valued their opinion, but I also loved Dean deeply. I did not know what to do, how to choose. That night, I cried alone in my room. I held my phone tightly, waiting for Dean to call. My head was full of my parents' angry words and the mean whispers from the center. I felt lost and confused. When my phone finally rang, it was Dean. I told him everything that had happened. I told him about the hurtful rumors and my parents' strong anger. I told him they said I could not see him anymore. Dean listened quietly. For a long time, he did not say anything. I thought he might be upset or even want to end things. Then his voice was soft but strong, full of understanding. "Mandy," he said, "love is not a crime, but some people will treat it like one." His words brought a small comfort to my sad heart. He understood my pain. He did not ask me to leave him. He did not tell me what to do. He just listened and offered his steady support. I knew then that I could not give him up. My feelings for him were too strong, too real, no matter what anyone else said or did. I had to decide what was most important to me in this difficult situation. 5. I choose him. Mandy went to work at the cafe that morning. Her heart felt heavy. She tried to act normal, but she was sad inside. Her parents were still very angry. People were talking about her and Dean. Mandy felt worried about everything. In the afternoon, Dean came to the cafe. It was his first visit there. He walked slowly through the door, holding his white cane. His steps were steady. All conversations in the cafe stopped. Everyone looked at Dean. Then they looked at Mandy. Mandy felt her face get hot. She knew what people were thinking. But then a strong feeling came over Mandy. She did not care what people thought anymore. She ran to Dean quickly. She did not wait for anyone to speak. She reached him and stood close. Dean smiled softly when he heard her steps. He spoke in his kind voice. "I cannot see you, Mandy, but I came here to find you," he said. Mandy felt tears fill her eyes. She did not care about the people watching. She did not care about her parents' anger. She only cared about Dean. She took his hand in hers. His hand felt warm and safe. Then Mandy spoke words she had never said before. She looked at his gentle face. "I love you, Dean," she said clearly. It was the first time she said those 3 words out loud. The cafe became perfectly silent. No one made a sound. It felt like time stopped. Inside Mandy, many feelings were loud. Her heart was beating fast. She felt a little fear, but mostly powerful, true love. This was a very important moment. She was choosing Dean and their love. Her life would change forever. She stood there holding his hand, brave and sure. He was her choice. This was her new path. She would stand by him no matter what. She felt strong. This decision was made clearly in front of everyone. It was a brave choice. 6. A new home. When I arrived home that night, my parents were waiting for me. The air in the house was heavy and cold. My mother's eyes were red and swollen from crying. My father's face was very red with anger. He stood up when I walked in, his hands tight into fists. They started to talk at once, their voices loud. They told me they had called the volunteer center. They said I could not go there anymore. I felt a deep pain in my heart. I felt they had broken a trust. I felt they had taken away something I loved. I felt betrayed by their actions. I could not keep quiet. I started to shout back at them. I told them they did not understand love. I told them they did not know Dean. My father looked at me with hard eyes. He said Dean only wanted pity from me. He said I was wasting my young life. He said I was making a big mistake. My mother came closer to me. She begged me to forget Dean. She asked me to think about my future, a future without him. But I could not think of a future without Dean. My feelings for him were too strong. I knew I could not change my mind. My love for him was real. The next day, my decision was clear. I could not stay in a home where my love was not welcome. I packed a small bag with my most important things. I put in a few clothes, my favorite book, and a small photo of Dean and me. My heart was sad to leave, but also strong. I did not have a clear plan for what I would do next. I only had a strong feeling inside me. Being with Dean was more important than anything else. It was worth every problem, every risk. I walked out of the house. I did not look back. I knew I was starting a new part of my life. I went straight to Dean. I told him everything that happened. I told him about the fight, about my parents stopping me from volunteering, and about leaving home. He listened very carefully. After a long moment, he spoke. He told me I should go back to my parents. He said he did not want to destroy my life. He did not want me to lose my family because of him. He worried about me, but I looked at him. I held his hand. I told him no. I told him I would not go back. I told him I wanted to be with him. I told him he was my home now. We decided to find a place where we could live together. We looked for a small apartment for many days. It was not easy to find a place that was right for us. Finally, we found one. It was a simple apartment. It had just one bedroom, a small living room, and a kitchen. It was not big, and it did not have much furniture. But it was ours. It was near the sea, and we could hear the sound of the waves sometimes. It felt safe. It felt quiet. It felt like peace. It felt like a new beginning for us together. We were starting our new life, just the two of us. We were home. 7, a hard time. Our new life together was good. We lived in a small apartment. It was simple, but we felt happy. Dean started to play the piano again. He played beautiful songs. I loved to listen to him. I also recorded my voice reading his favorite books. We did not have much money, but we had love. Every day felt special. We walked by the sea, holding hands. We talked about our future. We believed everything would be fine. Then, one day, Dean started to feel unwell. He was often tired. He tried to hide it from me. He said he was just sleepy. But I could see he was not well. He looked pale. He coughed sometimes. I asked him if he was okay. He always said yes. But I worried about him. His gentle smile did not look as bright as before. Soon, Dean became very sick. We went to the hospital. The doctors told us he needed an operation. It was a very important surgery. My world felt like it was breaking. The doctors said the operation would cost a lot of money. The hospital bills were very high. We did not have that much money. I felt scared. I did not know what to do. Dean needed this help. I tried everything I could. I sold some of my jewelry. It was not much, but it was something. I also worked extra hours at the cafe. I worked very hard. I saved every penny. But still, it was not enough. The amount of money we needed was too big. I felt helpless. My heart was heavy with worry. I wanted to help Dean, but I did not know how. In my worry, I decided to call my parents. It was a difficult call. I had not spoken to them much since I left home. I asked them for help. They came to the hospital, but they were cold. They did not look at me with kindness. My father spoke first. He said, "Now you see what kind of problems your love brings." My mother looked at me. There were tears in her eyes, but she did not say anything to help. She just stood there, quiet. I felt very alone. I felt small and hurt by their words. But I could not give up. I had to be strong for Dean. He held my hand. He whispered to me, "Don't cry, Mandy. Even if I never see you with my eyes, I have already seen love." His words gave me strength. I knew I had to keep fighting for him. I would do anything. I would find a way to get the money. This was a hard time, but I would stay strong. I would not let Dean down. I loved him more than anything. 8. A new beginning. Dean came home after his surgery. He was safe, but his sight did not return. This was not a surprise. We knew it might happen. We were just happy he was alive. We spent many evenings together by the sea. We listened to the waves. The sound was calming. It felt like a new start for us. Our small apartment was our peaceful place. We had faced hard times, but we were still strong. We had each other. Slowly, my parents started to visit. Their first visits were quiet. They watched us. They saw how we lived. We did not have much money, but we had something more important. We had deep happiness. My parents saw that my life was full of meaning with Dean. It was not about what they thought was comfortable. It was about true love. One day, my father spoke. He looked at Dean and then at me. His voice was soft. "Mandy," he said, "you were right. He is a good man." These words meant a lot to me. It was the first time he truly accepted Dean. My mother came to me. She hugged me tightly. Tears were in her eyes, but they were not sad tears. They were tears of understanding. Our family slowly began to heal. Life with Dean was still not easy. We still had challenges, but it was real. It was full of honesty and true feelings. We continued our work at the Audio Book Center. Our voices filled the rooms where we first met. We read stories together. It felt right. We were a team. Dean often smiled at me. He would say, "You are my eyes, Mandy." I always smiled back. "And you are my heart, Dean," I would answer. Our love was special. It taught me many things. I learned that seeing someone is not about using your eyes. It is about understanding their soul. It is about feeling with your heart. I had fallen in love with a man who could not see the world with his eyes, but he was the one who taught me how to truly see. He showed me what real love looked like. It was not about money or what other people thought. It was about connection and deep care. It was a new beginning for us, full of hope and love.